Morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger Johnson and Sally Nugent.
Hello, good morning. Our headlines today.
Do you know one of the best things you can do as you get older to stay fit? Apparently, tennis.
OK.
And two tennis players with a combined age of 199 have set the new world record for the oldest international singles tennis match ever played.
Henry, let's hope for us all.
Good hand-eye coordination, apparently, as you get older is what you should be doing.
Right, OK.
Might need to start. Yes.
I don't know what you're saying. Right, Carol, 6:15. For 25 years, thousands of supermarket products, as you will know, have been marked with a red tractor logo to let customers know that they are responsibly sourced from British farms.
This week, one of Red Tractor's TV adverts was banned after the environmental charity River Action claimed it was misleading customers. Our climate and science reporter, Esme Stallard, has more.
The wrestler who said that eating was part of his training.
Yes, I think that's probably the only bit of it we'd be good at.
Yeah. It could be semi-professional. It's 6:28. We'll be back in a moment. Let's get the news, the travel and the weather for the first time this morning, wherever you...
Nugent.
Good morning. If you are a pet owner, I am, you might be aware of the rising cost of vet bills in recent years.
Yeah, it's getting really expensive, yeah. And to try and find out why this could be, the Competition and Markets Authority launched an investigation into vet services. Which I think Roger's already involved here.
It is expensive, isn't it? But then you do love your pets, don't you? And people do love their pets. Anyway.
It is 6:38 exactly. John is, I think Roger's already already involved here.
It is expensive, isn't it? But then you do love your pets, don't you? And people do love their pets. Anyway.
It is 6:38 exactly. John is...
Lots of people getting in touch about pets and vet bills, which we're going to be talking about. The Competition and Markets Authority putting out a report a little later this morning, in the next half hour or so. Lots of people are getting in touch. Should we read some of these now? Is that a good time to do it? Julie Thompson's been in touch. She says, my elderly spaniel needed dental treatment. I was quoted £1,000. I was due to go on holiday to France, decided to take him with us to get a second opinion. It was 121 when I got to France to get the same procedure. It's
so difficult, isn't it? Because if someone says you need to pay a certain amount to keep your pet well, it's a hugely emotional decision. John has been in touch saying you can actually get drugs cheaper online. On one hand, the vet will charge you for a prescription. Could you look online? Also, when you go back to the vets for further treatment, they ask you and try and suggest you might want to invest in pet insurance. Why do you need pet insurance if you're going to pay high bills?
Well, the interesting point, a few people have picked up about pet insurance, including Maggie, who says her insurance for her dog costs 4 times as much as her car insurance.
And car insurance is not cheap.
It's not.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your comments. Lots of them coming in.
Now, postnatal depression affects 1 in 10 new mums in the UK, but a new study suggests that group singing classes could help women get the support and the help that they need.
Scientists say it could even be a cost-effective treatment offered by the NHS. Our health reporter, Jim Reid, has got more details.
Gorgeous about that. The babies love it too. You could see from their faces they were all quite calm.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is something about singing with other people, I think, that does lift your spirits.
It wouldn't help if I was there. I can't hold a note.
I don't think it matters.
It's just approaching 5 to 7. We'll have the headlines for you at the top of the hour. Let's get the news, the travel and the weather now, wherever you are this morning. The number of sexual assaults and harassment incidents reported on trains has risen by more than 1/3 over the past 10 years.
A BBC investigation found that more than 2,500 incidents were reported to police across England, Scotland and Wales last year. Our reporter Claire Jones has more. Morning, this is Breakfast with Roger Johnson and Sally Nugent, and you will know we have just been talking about the cost of vet bills for pet owners at the moment.
And I've just been... I mean, there are literally hundreds of comments, so thank you, first of all, for everybody who's got in touch this morning. Killoran saying that she spent £26,000. Sorry, this is Laura, sorry. £26,000 for her unspayed dog, trying to get her fixed up. In the end, the dog died. 3 Springer Spaniels owned by Philip and his family. They always go to a vet, a large vet, centrally owned. They think they pay more. Charges went up by 50% within only weeks of their former owners selling out. Deborah says the influence of bills being paid by insurance companies affects the prices that vets charge too. And insurance is an interesting issue that lots of people have raised. we've both got dogs.
Yeah. Pay our insurance, and it's still expensive.
And then apparently sometimes when the dog gets to a certain age or has had some kind of an issue, the insurance won't cover it anymore or won't pay out.
And the other thing we've just been discussing is whether or not people know that when they go to the vets and there's a prescription, sometimes that prescription is cheaper online.
And you just buy it from the vet because it's the thing that you think you have to do. David has written in, he says that this is the first time I'm reading these, 4 years ago the Competitions and Markets Authority did a similar thing for funeral directors, but nothing to ensure that funeral directors are actually now following through on what they were asked to do. So that plays into the final point we asked the guy from the CMA about whether it's binding, and he said they'll come up with a final report in a few months' time when hopefully they've had some feedback from the veterinary industry. Final one here from Janie says, our programme as bills have escalated in recent years is because vets are no longer operating independently. They're joining groups, as we talked about. The big group, about 6 big veterinary practices, which are owned by all sorts of investors, and they need to see an income. Thank you for all your comments. As I said, there's so many of them, but keep them coming.
And again, it's a hugely emotional decision. It's not necessarily always about the money.
It's at 7:34 now. The International Monetary Fund has predicted that the UK will be the second fastest growing economy in the G7 this year, behind the United States. However, it's also expected to see the highest level of inflation this year and next.
We are joined now by the Chief Secretary to... It's coming up to 8 o'clock. Time to get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.